Before we start using modules in our demo app, there are few configuration updates that we need to do. In the tsconfig.json file in our app directory, I have added this out file option. All the JavaScript will be output into a single file. This way, I had only referenced a single file in my HTML. But I want to use the module bundler that will deliver them to the browser. So I'm going to remove this option for now. I will add a module option to specify which module format I want the compiler to output. I'll use the common JS format. So now we are ready to convert the individual files to modules. We will remove this / directives and convert each file into modules. Let us start with result.ts. Here, this contains a single item result interface. So we can just add an export statement here in front of the interface definition. And now this is a module. My result module is ready. Next, person.ts file. It's again a simple interface, so I'll just add the export statement here. Next, let's go to the player.ts file. Here it has a / directive that references the person module. I'll remove this and use import statement here. The person module exports an interface named person. So I'll just add the interface name inside the curly braces after the import keyword. This will be followed by the relative reference to the person.ts file in the same directory as the current file. So we are now importing the person dependency here. And here I'll change the player declaration so that it is being exported. Coming to the scoreboard file, I have already got errors with the result interface here. So here I'll change this / directive reference with the import statement that imports the result interface. I also want to make sure that I export the scoreboard class, so I'll add an export statement here. Next, in the helper.ts file, we will do it differently here. It currently contains a class with two static methods, getInputVal and getRandomNumber. So I will use this class to demonstrate exporting multiple items from a module. I'll first remove this helper class. And I want to export both of these functions from the module. I'll add function keyword in front of both this function and remove this static keyword from here. Now we have two functions in our helper file. I'll use the export statement here at the end of the file. So here the export keyword with the items I want to export is inside a pair of the curly braces. I have exported the getInputVal function as getUserInput to the consumer of this module. And the second item to be exported is getRandomNumber. Now let us move on to game.ts file that has quite a few references to other modules. I'll just replace this with the import statements. Now this module uses both the functions getRandomNumber and getInputValue from the helper module. I have imported the entire module by putting an asterisk here after the import statement. I'll refer to the module as helpers. Next, I have imported the result and player exactly as they were declared in the respective modules. Last is the scoreboard class. Here I have used an alias score panel. Now when I want to use the scoreboard class in this module, I refer to it as score panel. After adding the imports, I'll export the game class. Now we need to make changes in the code in the game class. I'll change all the scoreboard references here to use score panel instead. And here helpers.getNumber, so it will be helpers. Moving further down in the calculate score method, I have to change the references to the getInputVal function to use getUserInput and use the module as helpers. And you can see that Visual Studio is giving me some code completion help. I'll use getUserInput. I'll do the same down here. Okay, that's all the changes I need to make in this file. The last file to update is the main.ts file. Here I have got so many errors. First, I'll remove the triple slash directive at the top and replace them with import statements. I have imported the game and player class first. I use the getInputValue function from the helper module. Since I have aliased that function to getUserInput when I exported it, I refer to it as getUserInput when I import it here. I'll accordingly update the references to getInputValue function in this module. Okay, that's all the changes we need to make. I have now updated the app to use modules. However, I can't run it yet. I have to configure a module bundler. But before I do that, let's see how TypeScript resolves module.